Yes, English.
English is my friend.
It's your friend, yes. And don't be afraid to speak with a dumb... dumb.
Don't be afraid to speak dumb.
To
Okay.
speak, to let your accent fly. Yes, your Swedish accent fly away. That's okay.
Okay.
We've talked about that with everyone except Victor, but me and Joel talked about it because we both felt so uncomfortable that we have this terrible English accent. And me and Signe talked about it yesterday too.
Yes. Feels quite unnatural.
Yes.
Because we always speak Swedish.
It's super weird.
Yes.
And it also feels like you if you speak English doing something like this, it feels like people will think that people would care about this anywhere else than like right here.
Yes.
Which also is like the worst. It's the worst feeling. I've been thinking so much about that.
Yes.
Like people is gonna like see this and like, oh my God, what does William? What's happened? Does he think that he's a YouTuber or something like like an influencer? And
drum influencer.
drum jazz
Oddcast
influencer, yes, for sure. But who knows? Maybe someone is watching in, I don't know, somewhere else.
Yes, that speak English. This is for you.
This is for you.
This is for you.
Yes, remember that one person. Exactly. Heart.
From us.
From us to you. Enjoy. No, but it's very stupid as well when you look at like the YouTube page where you put everything up.
Yep.
And you see like, okay, 8 views on the.
But I mean 8 views.
I know, 8 people. 4 is probably me. 4 of them is.
1 is me.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that leaves 3 others. Perhaps
Signe, Joel, and
Victor. Yeah, that's true. It's only the people in the band.
But
who
you
are
gotta
watching
start
this.
somewhere, you know.
Yes, I know. Grassroots and all that.
Exactly.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yes. Okay.
I love that you do this. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's very, I wouldn't say cool, but I think it's fun.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's fun to be, it's fun to get to talk to people. And like we discussed earlier, it's fun to, maybe in a situation like this, you talk to someone in a way that you typically don't talk, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe you learn some new things.
Yeah.
It was interesting talking to Victor because I've known him for such a long time, and it feels like we don't have anything to talk about anymore because it feels like we emptied all of our conversation topics.
You're the old married couple.
Yes, exactly. But I learned a bunch of things that I didn't know about him, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did too. I watched the whole Victor thing.
Yeah.
When I was in Skagen with my family. Yes.
Was that what you did when you were in Skagen?
Yep.
Okay.
No, but it was nighttime. Everyone was asleep.
Yeah.
And I just was, had the time to be up a little bit by myself.
Yeah, nice.
You don't get that much time when you have a kid, you know?
It's true. It's true.
So I was up doing a bit of yoga and then listening to you and Victor talking in the background.
Oh,
it
that's
was
cute.
Very cozy.
Nice.
And I also learned a lot of new things about Victor.
Yeah.
That we share the same background.
Yeah.
That we both started to play the violin at the age of 3.
That's pretty crazy.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know. Me, I didn't know that either, I think, about him or you.
No, but now you know.
Now I know, and I might, we might get to know even more things today. Who knows?
I don't know.
What will come out? And that's the Grand Final Oddcast way. That's how we do it here. Yeah, it's deep investigating journalism at its finest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But welcome.
Thank
anyway.
you.
I realized yesterday that I forgot to even introduce Signe when I talked to her. And I also forgot to introduce Joel when he was with me. So I said their names at the end. But anyway, Malin Wättring.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome.
Hello.
The sax player in many bands, but in William Solvik Grand Final, among others.
Yeah.
Yes.
I play tenor 2.
Tenor. Very important to mention that you play tenor 2.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not the melodies, but all of the other wonderful, weird.
I'm the supporting tenor saxophonist.
Supporting tenor saxophone, which is weird in a way. I mean, I think we've talked about that too, because it feels like your sound is would like typically maybe be more suited to have like a more of a lead role, perhaps. Seeing this, you have very different sounds.
Yeah, we do.
Individually, at least. But I really like that.
Yeah, me too.
It's not
The
what you
opposite.
expect. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cool.
And I think we developed a William Solvik Grand Final sound together.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
It's super fun to play with Signe.
Yeah,
I think she's one of the best saxophone players in the world.
Agreed.
Yeah, and it's so fun to work with her. And we don't really talk that much about how we want to play things, but I guess we have played together for like 7 years now.
Yeah, it's true.
So we have found this this way of playing your melodies.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
because you have a very typical way of writing melodies, and we found this recipe.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, it sort of just works somehow.
Yeah. I know.
But I that's sort of how I feel with the whole band now, which is weird because much of the music is quite strange, I guess. Like it's not strange in the way that it's not super abstract perhaps, but it's quite counterintuitive maybe sometimes. Like
what does that mean?
I mean, it's like it would, especially for you guys, like melodies that you maybe aren't used to playing on a saxophone, or like weird sort of turns or big interval leaps and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel the same with Joel and Victor as well. But somehow it just feels like it works now.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, here's some music, and then we just sort of play it, and it sort of works.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think we usually spend that much time, like, actually trying to sort of learn the music.
No.
Not really, right?
No. I don't think so either.
It's more like, just playing it a little bit. And
we're playing it the usual way.
Yeah,
then,
exactly.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it works.
And then throw in some solos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
It feels very natural and easy.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's great.
That's really cool. And you, and I mean, you and Signe specifically, you really sound like, sometimes it's really like one sort of unit, or like you said, it has become sort of its own sound somehow, the two of you.
And we do some tweaks and like ornaments. We throw it, we just do it now because we've developed that.
Yeah.
During the years, and I think that's fun too.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool. And I'm so happy that we're still going. I don't know that I've ever played with any constellation that's been active as long as this one, actually. It almost always sort of tapers out after a while, I mean, it comes and goes, but this feels like this constellation has been fairly steady now since we started, really.
Yeah,
or if anything, I think we've played more and more, like the past years.
It's going in the right direction.
Yes, hopefully, for the time being at least. So we'll see, I guess. But yes, anyway, Malin, Wättring.
Yes.
Yes, hello. We've just had a meeting. Also, we've hung out the whole day today.
Yep.
Yeah. Talked about our big band venture. We might maybe we'll get to that later, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because I don't as I said, you don't necessarily usually talk to people like, oh, how did you get started and why the sax and everything, but how did you get started? I know you have parents who are musicians, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom, she plays the violin, and she's a music teacher. And she works. When she worked, she was working at Kulturskolan, where all the kids go. Where you work now.
Where I work now. Yeah, that's true.
And
Did she work there when you were born?
I don't remember, but when I was born in Stockholm.
You were?
Yep.
Oh my God.
The dark truth.
Straight out of the gate.
Yeah.
Jesus.
My God.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
okay.
I'm despite my very Gothenburgic accent, I'm actually from Stockholm.
Oh my God.
And it's funny because my partner, he is talking very much skånska.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But he's born in Gothenburg.
He is?
Yeah, I know.
This is
insane.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learned new things already.
Oh my God.
But I was born in Stockholm, and then we moved to Gothenburg when I was 1, and my sister came. And because I think my dad got a job at Angeredsteatern.
Yeah.
He worked there as a musician at the theater.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Lerum. When I was 3.
Nice.
And then I was 3, I started to play the violin.
Yeah.
My mom is a Suzuki teacher.
Yeah.
So then you start very early with a wood paper box and what's it called? Lineal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, a ruler.
A ruler, exactly.
All right. And just doing the bowing?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, all
to
right.
practice how to hold the instrument.
Okay.
Not very fun.
That sounds awful.
Oh, yeah. I hated it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And violin wasn't my instrument.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
And my mom was my teacher, so we fought all the time. You know, she went to work because then she worked at Samskolan.
All right, yeah.
Here in Gothenburg.
Yeah.
That's a regular school.
By Friggagatan?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But she was working there, and when she got home, it was time to teach me. And she was very tired, and I didn't like the instrument, so it was...
Sounds like it was doomed.
Yeah,
your violin career. Yeah.
But then my dad, he plays many instruments, but he's mostly a singer.
Yeah.
And he did a project with Bohuslän Big Band.
All right.
When I was 9, where he played Ray Charles music.
Yeah.
And at Stenhammarsalen in Gothenburg, they played a concert.
Yeah.
And I went to see that, and I was like, my God. And I really fell in love in the saxophone. Not the guys playing saxophone.
No.
Saxophone.
The saxophone.
Yeah,
for sure.
So then I felt this is my instrument.
Yeah.
And then I started to play
Do you know
saxophone.
why? Like the sax specifically?
No, it just stood out to me.
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa.
Was it like the sound or the look? Or
I don't remember. I just remember that I was really fascinated.
Spoke to you
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important thing, to just love your instrument.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And that you can come very far just with that you like what you play.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But that you like, I guess, the sound of it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool as well.
It looks very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know?
Yeah. I often. I remember when I was going to start to play, I were struggling to choose if I were going to play the saxophone or the drums.
You did?
Yeah. Because you had these things at Kulturskolan. Do you remember where you could go and try different instruments?
Yeah.
And I had been really set on playing the drums for a while because my grandfather played some drums as a hobby thing, and I don't know. My dad had shown me a bunch of Buddy Rich videos and stuff.
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, of course. VHS tapes like that.
Wow,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. But I was so fascinated by the saxophone when I got to try one. So I was like, drums or sax? Should I? So I almost chose the sax.
Oh, that's so fun. But didn't you play trombone for a while?
No, not.
You released a Christmas album.
I did. I think it's still on SoundCloud, actually.
What's the name?
It's called Jul.
Oh.
Yes, Christmas in Swedish.
Lovely.
With Gustav Davidsson trio.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And 3 trombones, right?
3 trombones, yes.
Lovely setup.
1 who can actually play the trombone, and 2 who can't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was Gustav and me and Jonas Djurström. Playing hits such as Feliz Navidad, or the A part of Feliz Navidad.
Okay.
And I remember there's also a bonus track, which is the us playing the to the Abersold backing for Cherokee, but it's a version that it changes keys every chorus. So we're only playing the first A section.
Yeah, that's your thing.
And then it's solo.
Yeah,
solo time.
Great.
Yeah, my trombone career was not long or fruitful.
But you did it.
I did it. No, but I can relate to that, like being fascinated by the saxophone.
Yeah.
There's something about it. I always liked, especially with tenor sax, I think that it's so similar, like in range, also to like the human voice, I guess, in a way, or at least perhaps a male human voice. I mean, it has a very big range.
Yeah, it has.
Like super low and can be really high if you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Covers a lot of musical real estate.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
I started off playing the alto for a couple of years, but I remember I got to borrow a tenor sax from my teacher. Yeah. And it was, again that I really loved this sound. It felt like me. Yeah. So I switched to that.
Early on, or?
I was, I think, 16.
So you've been playing alto for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I started when I was 10, and then I stopped when I was like 13. But then I started again.
All right.
Around 14, 15.
Yeah.
And then I decided to go to, go estetmusik at the gymnasium, high school. Yeah. Because I didn't really know what else to do. Yeah. We have been doing like this cabarets and stuff when I was in what's it called, högstadiet.
Yeah. Upper secondary school.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And
grade 7 to 9.
Yeah. And I thought it was very much fun.
Yeah. Did you play in those? Or?
Yes, a little bit. Yeah. And I also did karaoke version of I Love Rock and Roll.
Nice.
With my bestie Joanna.
I think you've told me this actually. Yeah.
And we were wearing leopard prints and leather jackets.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Is that documented somewhere?
I think so, but I don't know where. But it's I always felt like everything that you've been doing, like that kind of thing, I always felt like this is the best thing that ever happened. And I think that's a strength of mine.
Yeah, that's good.
It's very naive and kind of not very. It's a bit världsfrånvänt.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, perhaps, but I guess it's better than the opposite, perhaps.
Yeah.
Thinking that everything you do just sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Just, I think it's better.
Yeah, I think
and
so
it
too.
keeps you running.
Yeah, for sure. I'm much more like your opposite there, or was at least when I was younger.
Yeah, okay.
Like, everything sucks. I can't do anything.
Oh no.
No, but it's fine. I mean, I think that's quite common also.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you have like. If you're ambitious, like with your whatever it is that you do, I guess it's just only natural. But that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
To be able to like, this is the shit.
Yeah. I because I can when I'm older and maybe a bit wiser, I can feel more like that. What am I doing? But I should go back to that. This is the best thing I ever happened.
Nice. That's good, because I feel sort of the opposite now when I'm older and wiser. I can feel like, this is the shit.
But that's good.
Yeah.
You're going in the right direction.
Maybe it all evens out.
Yeah, in the end.
Yes, we're becoming more and more lagom as we go.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Lagom is the way to go.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. But I remember... interesting speaking about all of this. I remember like doing like the first album with the Grand Final band. I think, I think you were like really instrumental in that happening, like in me like doing that like at all, because I remember we just talking about things, and you were it felt like you were very much on like a roll then, like you had your quartet and you were playing a lot at the time, and things were like really going well. And I remember you were like really encouraging, like you have to like put yourself out there and like put yourself on the album cover and like do all these things that felt super like it didn't feel natural to me when I thought about it. But and even like making an album with your own music and having your own name on the band. I remember you talking about that too, like put your name on the band and stuff like that. But it's like when you rip that band-aid off, sort of, it's incredibly empowering and satisfying. And also I think it's perhaps the only way to do, or not the only way, but it's a way to do something that feels genuine, maybe, and I think you put that out to potential listeners and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's a way to like allow you to take space.
Yeah.
Not because you want to take someone else's space, but you're allowing yourself that I'm worthy. I'm a human being that's worthy to use my voice.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is my passion, and I want to share it. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But because no one ever gets happier because I like try to disappear or take less space.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, some people like that, but I think if you've got a gift and you, I think it's good that we share that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think maybe everyone's different, of course, but I think also perhaps in Sweden and in like the Scandinavian region, I think that a lot of people are sort of raised like that too, you know, with the Jantelag and everything. And that was very has always been very like prevalent in me. I feel like oh no, I shouldn't, you know, take space or believe that I'm something. And like I said before, like doing this in English, like people think that I think that this matters. Who am I to you know, that whole thing. But that feels like a very healthy way to like look at it. Like,
doing things because just like this thing that you think it's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And that you're interested in.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like not taking space from anyone else, or this is not. I mean, it's not hurting anyone making music or making art or making whatever. It's just like being true to one's self, I suppose. And
try to follow your heart. And if it's in your heart that you want to have a band with your name on it, do it. If you want to be like just a part of a band and that feels natural to you, do that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And do what feels right for you. That's not hurting anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's key. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's a way of life.
Yeah. Did you always feel this way? I mean, you said that when you were younger, like, this is the best thing. Like, did you go through, or I mean, of course you did at some point, but throughout your sort of music education and everything, did you just feel like, this is, I'm good at doing this, and I want to like share it to people?
Of course, I've had this sort of it feels two ways about it. It's that side of me that I have. I think I have a very strong expression. I feel like I'm
musically, or just in general.
No, as a person, I can be quite loud and like quite outgoing and be quite explosive. But I'm also sort of introvert and sensitive, and I'm just as brave as I am scared. I think I have the both sides, and I go between that, and it's it's been a challenge for me, of course, to take space as well, especially as a woman, as a female instrumentalist. It's not very, because we live in a patriarchy society where you're not always allowed to take space, or to just, don't feel natural to be a woman and dare to try things out. That's not like encouraged in society. I think it's been when I went to school, sometimes I was very scared because I didn't have that much experience as the other people where I studied. I had my like natural. I think music comes quite easy to me because when I did the Suzuki thing, you work a lot with the ears. So I have a strong ear, but I always sucked at like sight reading or understanding chords and theory, and it took me a very long while to understand that. So when I felt that this is I'm not good at this, I was sort of beating myself up.
All right.
And that thing, I think I've learned to understand that you can't know something that you don't know yet. And true, that you are allowed to, if you want to develop, you have to you're gonna suck in the beginning. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
and but if you want to be better, you have to allow yourself to suck.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
and just to realize, I don't know this yet, and I'm giving myself time and space to just
suck.
Yeah, to suck and to try things.
Yeah,
and when I try, I learn.
Yeah.
So that. I've learned that with the years.
Yeah, it feels like an very important lesson.
Yeah.
To learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it for you? With
the same way for sure. I guess it feels like, and it's interesting now that you're when you're a teacher too. You're a teacher as well and have been for a while, but I see it in. So many of my students now too, and I have a lot of younger kids as well.
Yeah.
And I've been able to recognize now when I'm older, like the amount of time I spent in my life trying to learn how to play the drums, for example, or compose music or whatever. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like how much work has been put into that.
Yep.
From everyone who's like active now, it's insane, and how hard it is. Even if you've been doing it for a long time, and certain things come quite easy now, but in the beginning, so everything was a struggle.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah. And you get so overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and a lot of my students, they just want to they've seen cool people on Instagram or something that's like playing like super fast or whatever, or doing cool stuff, but they don't realize that these people have been like working on this craft for decades.
Years and years. Yeah.
And it's incredible, really. I remember asking you once when we were on a plane, I think, like how did we get here?
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, it's like insane.
And I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
It's so strange.
Yeah, I know.
You wake up sometimes that my work is, I'm a saxophone player.
Yeah.
I play jazz music.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
how did it happen?
Yeah, it's insane.
Did you know that you wanted to be a drummer?
No, not necessarily. No, I was fascinated by music and everything, and my dad was a musician also, so I got to go with him on like rehearsals and shows and stuff, and I thought it was a very cool thing. Like the energy of people playing music together was really cool. But I don't know, I wanted to be like a hockey player and a professional skateboarder and
of course
regular guy things,
Yeah.
Yeah, as well. not like a police or anything, but yeah, just like a hockey guy or something.
Professional skateboarder.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
That was on the top of my list, I think. But then I just stopped doing everything else, but I continued with the music.
Yeah. It was the same for me.
Yeah. I don't think it was ever. Was it like okay, now I'm gonna stop with the horse riding perhaps? Or
yeah, I was horseback riding most of my teens.
Yeah.
But I just.
Did you ever like okay, now I'm gonna stop the horseback riding to focus on the music, or you just sort of?
No, it just happened, I think. But I said this thing when I started high school.
Yeah.
Everyone got to introduce oneself.
Yeah.
And I said, hello, my name is Malin Wättring, and I'm going to be the best saxophone player in Sweden.
Damn!
I don't know.
Big words.
Yeah, I know. And I felt so much shame about that.
But hey,
but
I mean,
and now I don't think that anyone is the best. I think that you can only be the best in being yourself.
Yes,
but
of course.
I think that meant something, that I wanted to do something.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guess I have a drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. I don't think that anyone can. I mean, you've made a bunch of albums and have had bands and stuff. I mean, you can't do that if you don't have drive.
No, I think that's my forte.
Yeah.
It's not my talent.
Yeah.
I'm not the best saxophone player, but I think that I have drive and passion.
Yeah. I think that that's the most important thing for sure.
Yeah, it's one important thing.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many incredible players. I mean, just musicians, crafts people that are really good at playing their instrument. I know a lot of people like that who hardly play ever now. And who were the ones and often the ones that were like practicing the most back in the day.
Yep.
I don't. Very few of those people are still active.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I mean, it's. You have to balance your like abilities with so many other things too. Especially like when you want to make bands and do projects and grant applications and budgeting and trying to get gigs. You know.
Book rehearsals,
everything.
Apply for money, everything.
Doing podcasts.
A bunch of
so
stuff.
much work.
Yes.
Yeah, but what kind of music specifically? I mean, I know you're into sort of grunge music and rock music and stuff from back in the days, but why jazz? The whole like jazz improvised thing, was that also through like the Ray Charles thing, or I mean, your dad, was he a jazz singer?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
and he played a bit of jazz, and I think I got the jazz from him.
So it wasn't like a foreign thing for you?
No. And we like played standards at home. And my grandfather, he was he played the saxophone and the clarinet.
Ah, right, yeah.
Yeah, and so he's been doing that thing, played at parties and stuff.
Yeah.
He worked as a baker and a musician as a hobby thing.
Nice.
But I have his clarinet now.
Yeah, I remember.
That Signe is borrowing for the moment.
Cool.
But my dad definitely influenced me on the jazz thing. I remember, I think I was like 14 or 15, and I got a Wayne Shorter record and a Candy Dulfer record for my birthday.
Nice.
And Candy Dulfer, I thought it was cool.
Two different ends of the spectrum,
And at that point, I thought Candy Dulfer sounded, I understood it more. I hated the Wayne Shorter record, Adam's Apple. But now he is my saxophone god. And I think it's that jazz is music that it takes time to understand and learn to love, sort of. But now I think when he was alive, he was I really am drawn to his music and the way how he works with his especially his quartet. And I really I'm really fascinated by of him as a artist.
Yeah, so he's been like a presence in your life since quite early on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think about Wayne?
I love Wayne. I think it's probably my favorite. Or I have many sax players that I like, but I think that he what he does has always felt so incredibly special, I think, or at least very unique. I don't feel like he doesn't sound like, I don't know, because it's also with like jazz saxophone, I can often feel like I couldn't tell like any two tenor players apart, like from like the big ones. I don't. It just all sounds like jazz tenor saxophone.
Sax.
Exactly. But I don't feel that way with Wayne Shorter. I felt I've always sort of been able to hear that it's him, both in his like compositions and in his way of playing.
Just like Miles.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they have very sort of particular thing. But then again, I'm not a sax player, so I mean it's probably easier if you're like if you know the instrument. But I've always loved Wayne Shorter, and it just seems like such a far out, wonderful guy as well.
I know.
Which is also really fun.
And very philosophical.
Yeah.
And has interesting thoughts on music.
Yeah, for sure.
That's music something bigger than just music.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's very spiritual.
Yeah. Have you been inspired by like those thoughts as well? I mean, not necessarily by Wayne Shorter, but it feels like you have those sort of. You've thought a lot about the music that you make and the music that you write.
Yeah, and maybe music as a spiritual practice.
Yeah,
sort of. I think it's.
Where does that come from?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like it's like music. It feels like a place where I can express myself from a deep level, and it's it's a place where my soul can like express itself, and I get to meet other people. It's so, and I feel very, you know, when you reach that state of flow, that you can just be fully concentrated and just surrender to the music. Yeah. It feels very, very meaningful. And it feels like it feels important to me. And it's not that place, it doesn't matter what you play, but it's just a feeling of I can't really describe it, but it feels very important to me. Yeah. And it feels like the real deal.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
And I guess I think that music is a teacher. For me, it's my greatest teacher in that sense that I get to learn to like find my voice and use that voice in a humble way. But I don't think that we're here put on this earth to be silent. I think we're put here to express ourselves and to meet other people in that expression. Yeah. And I think that is an act of love as well. And I just think it's important. Yeah, yeah. And if we're looking at the world where we're living right now, where there's a lot of war going on and conflicts and what's happening in Gaza, it's to give your life to music. It's like you're choosing anti-violence. You're choosing an act of love. And when you're playing for like audiences, and it's something. It's a positive force. Yeah, I feel.
Nice.
And anti-violence. I can't really put I think it's really hard to put words on my thoughts, but you get the sense, sort of.
For sure. Yeah, I understand what you mean, and I think you put it well as well, because it is hard to describe. I'm sure that some people have very specific ideas about why they are musicians and what they will achieve, and I think that I've also tried to sort of justify my musicianship throughout the years in many different ways, like politically and like it's good for everyone and whatever. But I think that these days I mostly just landed in that I really enjoy. It's really fun. Like
yes,
doing
and
this.
That's enough.
Yeah, I think so, and also I think that sort of, but that sort of, all of those other things as well. Like it's an act of love, and it's like meeting other people in music and being present and expressing yourself. And I think that's sort of, to me at least, that's sort of all of those things can live under the sort of the fun umbrella.
Yes, exactly.
Somehow. But it does feel like a healthy way to relate to your craft, especially with as you say, the society being like it is, and it feels like people want you to be able to put like a material value on everything, and all of those things, sort of.
And I think it has a lot of other more important values.
Yeah.
And that you get to practice, like to take space, but also to give space, and you have to practice to listen.
Yeah.
And it's not about playing the perfect solo, but it's just what I said. It's to listen and to meet each other, and to like allow the energy to flow. The energy in that moment, sort of.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it's in what we call in Swedish flummigt.
Flummigt, yes.
Yes, but it's for me it's an important thing why I play.
Yeah, that's nice. And I also, I totally agree with you. And for all of those reasons as well, I thought that that's always why I've been so torn, or I've had so many. I've never really felt at home in like the jazz community.
No.
And I think it's a lot for maybe many of those reasons, because I feel the same thing as you do, and but it also feels like a big part of the jazz community is very much about like the crafts or the craft of it, and actually playing the perfect solo or whatever, and there's certain norms and certain sounds and certain stuff that are appreciated, while people can feel very like close-minded, ironically, somehow.
But maybe isn't it because the technique and everything is important too?
Of course.
But it's not the end. It's not like the goal. The goal is musical expression and freedom, and maybe sometimes, and even I do that you get stuck in like, oh, you have to play. You get stuck in the technical things, and music is technique is one part of music, but maybe music is about expressing something, and you can express something with very few tools.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And even when you have like students, it's so I feel that it's very important to like make music with them, to find a way to allow them to experience the musical force, and not just focus on the technique, because that's the way how they can continue to play.
For sure.
Because if it's only gymnastics, they will get bored. Yeah. Most of them.
Yeah.
Some are like super into that, of course.
For sure. Yeah.
But I think that technique should be in favor of the musical expression.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a means to an end.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Do you like? Can you feel that when you play with your students that now they're feeling the music now, or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, more especially since I have so many young students who aren't necessarily. They haven't been in like the music industry, or they haven't been subjected to that as much, and I feel like they are much more just about like, I love this song. I want to play this song. Only this song for great. 6 months. Because it's like the greatest song, and then you're like, oh yeah, but should we try to do like a little fill or something? No, I just want to play this song like forever. So it feels like. And I remember myself being like that too when I was younger, and that all of the other stuff like that came much later, like when I started to compare myself to other people, and I don't know what happened, but something happened along the way that made me sort of insecure about my own ideas about what music should be. But then I took sort of a lap around that, and now I feel like I've been able to sort of come back to like how it was when I started.
It feels like you're in a very good creative space right now.
Yeah, I feel so too. Yeah, so it's I said that to Signe yesterday too. It's like I've never enjoyed making music as much as I do now, I think.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
And I think I can feel that in you.
Yeah. That's nice.
And now I think that we have switched places a little bit.
Perhaps.
Because in the beginning, as you said, when I'm glad that I could encourage you with the first William Sovik album.
For sure.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But feels like, because then I was in a period of time I was working a lot and doing my own projects, and I was really in my drive. And now, since I had a kid, and I'm sort of, I don't really know what the next step is. And that makes me feel a bit more like insecure, maybe.
Yeah, I understand.
So it feels like it's your time. You're encouraging me this time. And that's
nice,
a very beautiful thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That we can give and take, you know.
That's great. Yeah. That's what friends are for.
Yeah, that's what friends are for.
That's what friends are for. In good times.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Man, we've been talking for a while.
Yeah, we are.
And I saw that they just called from my son's kindergarten.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
important stuff.
Yeah. But maybe we should wrap up soon. Anyway,
let's.
Yeah, but I'm really happy. I mean, I've called you my work wife because it seems like we're doing most things together these days. Or have been for a while.
We are.
Yeah, which is amazing. I'm very happy to have you in all of the different projects. So
Thank
much
you.
fun. Yeah, of course.
Likewise.
Yeah, thank you. We have this big band, Gothenburg Art Ensemble. That we're currently trying to figure out what to do with.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not easy when you.
Please give us money for our recording.
It's like you want to do like one gig and you realize that it will cost you like 400,000 crowns.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's insane.
But we did it.
We did it. Yes, we have done it.
Yes, we
twice.
have. Twice.
Yeah. Which is really cool. It's really, it's insane that we've been able to do that.
Yeah.
You've been working with big band music earlier as well, like with the Bohuslän Big Band, for example.
I wrote one commission.
Yeah. That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, and getting that must have been like overwhelming, right? Or a steep learning curve, perhaps?
Yeah, very much so. I learned crazy much.
Yeah. That must have been. I guess you feel that now when you're doing like when we've done the Gothenburg Art Ensemble, for example, like that first experience must have been quite valuable, like doing the commission with Bohuslän.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And I want to keep on learning.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun to work with large ensembles, and but it's very expensive and hard to do. But I just keep my fingers crossed that I can continue to do that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Are you like burned for life now, or do you want to keep on writing for large groups?
I think it's really fun. I still enjoy it, but I do feel that it's very much like I could not do it like all the time. I'm very happy that I have like the grand finale, for example, because everything's just so easy. You're just like, okay, here's a melody. Yeah. And then almost nothing more, and then it just becomes music. I don't have to make any choices, really. You can all figure that out for yourselves, and it will be great. Yeah. But having to, I think it's exhausting to make all those decisions all the time. Yeah. And as I said before, with me being sort of a jant person as well, like, why should I decide for these 18 people who are incredible musicians? Why should I decide what they should do? Who am I to believe? So it's definitely a learning curve, both like from a crafts point of view, like writing arrangements takes for fucking ever, and but also just like trying to be clear about your musical intentions more than anything. I think that's super interesting to like and I think that's a way to like put yourself aside, to just and put the music in focus and try to understand for yourself what the musical idea is, and to make that idea as clear as possible in the sheet music, and then when you lead the band. And I think that process is super interesting and developing, because it forces me to be very, very precise, and it forces me to it forces me to grow, and I like that process, but it's exhausting it is as well, so sure. It's good that it's not every week. Oh my god. But then maybe you get into it if you do it every week. It's like maybe. It's very easy. Yeah, of course, and it gets easier the more you do it, of course. And you maybe you develop those, or of course it's like any skill, I guess. Like you develop the ability to be more precise, or maybe write in a way that's comes more close to what you intended in the first place. Perhaps maybe you don't need to like be tinkering as much with the music. No, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? Life is long, hopefully. We have lots to learn. Yes. Well, anyway, thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you. And for your continued collaboration in all things music. And that's it for now, I guess. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. Goodbye. 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 Gud vad konstigt.